Okay, apparently kuna civil unrest in Congo, but before we discuss about these videos, I'd like you to take a look at the following videos. Then after hapo, let's now discuss about what's actually happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo between the M23 rebels and the Congolese army together with their other allied forces.
Masangai Kahaba Mama position mabe Nava caché Abomba ya kawazanji Abomba ya zanji Mama sasa Europa Sasa Gimeo Masangai Mabate ya famila ngai Mbongo na ngai salaire lutinda la famille na ngai ezalaka prime lutinda la famille na ngai numéro eza na fiche eza na ngai
C'est bon. Nyuma kidogo. Tunafurahi kuwaona wakubwa. Tunafurahi kuona wakubwa. Asante sana.
Hakuna mwenye alilala mwi Goma yote. And these are the gunshots from last night. A lot of people have been asking me, you know, I have relatives that side, I'm trying to call them, I can't get a hold of them. High chances is that their phones are off, because like I keep on saying, we don't have electricity, and also the network is unstable. Even those who have solar panels are suffering right now because let me show you the weather. For the past 3 days we have not had any sunlight, so those who have solar panels can't even charge their phones or do anything because we have not had sunlight for over 3 days. So if you're trying to contact your loved ones, chances are they're not able to recharge their phones. If your loved ones have been staying in their homes, then they're safe, then there's nothing to worry about. But I can hear gunshots right now. I don't know if you heard that, but that was a gunshot. There's another one. Yeah, there's another gunshot. It's official. We've been invaded. We have been invaded. That's the current situation. Goma has been invaded.
Bunga, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BAV. This is Bunge Audio Visual, the place where we get to give you updates not only in Kenya but across the globe as well. So apparently kumekuwa na some sort of civil unrest in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and at the moment Felix Tshisekedi with his army wanapata serious issues from the M23 rebels, the M23 group that is actually being funded or rather bankrolled by the Rwandese government under the reign of Paul Kagame. So this is what is actually happening in Democratic Republic of Congo. You've watched the videos and I'd like to give you a glimpse and rather the flow of events or whatever has been happening in Congo. So recently the United Nations and the Democratic Republic of Congo authorities accused the rebels, primarily the Tutsi fighters, of being a proxy force for the Rwandan ambitions to dominate the mineral-rich Eastern Congo, which is a claim rooted in the geopolitics of control over resources. Now tuongelea story resources, mnajua Congo is a very very rich country in terms of minerals, because hao wana supply most of the world, a larger part, a percentage of the companies in the world, tech companies in the world, various resources like gold, kuna kuanga tin, kuna kuanga tantalum, kuna kuanga tungsten, wako na minerals mingi sana, kuna diamond. That hata kuna quite a number of movies imekuwa zikitolewa just to give the true picture of how Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo really looks like. Then apart from that, mnafaa kujonga hizi commodities na sisi zinatumikanga na global tech companies, na the fact that most of the African companies hazina hizi industries or other companies zimekuwa set up to manufacture easy products. It means that the only way the Africans can be able to benefit from the kind of resources they produce is to actually allow the external investors or rather the whites to actually come and exploit their resources, wakuja is extract, wazipeleke maju, then after they have been refined or rather processed, wanauzia Africans as the final product, which economic wise kuna vile haisaidi Africans as they are the most of the African countries, because they're actually importing what they actually produce instead of actually exporting what they actually produce. So inakuja na wanapata most of the countries ziko rich in minerals, but so unfortunate that the countries that are rich in minerals, economies zao ziati ziko sawa, ziko na in fact wako na the most unstable economies in the world. And a good example is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Umeona kumekuwa na wars huko, saizi kuna civil unrest, wamechoma embassies za South Africa, wamechoma embassies za Kenya, wamechoma embassy ya Kenya, wameshika the mercenaries who came from Romania. Umeona kwa hizo videos wamekuwa na pelekwa teke wanakimbizwa. And this is actually a very very bad impression of Congo as a country, because Congo, mimi niko pretty sure Congo should be among the countries with the best economy in the world, but because wako na vita za resources, what we call nisemeje, kumekuwa some sort of diplomatic wars na kuna diplomatic blame games zinaendelea hizi, it actually means that hakuna hiyo conducive environment ya ensure that most of the businesses thrive in the within the bounds of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And this is the reason as to why wanatakanga hizi wars ziendelee kwa. So the more wars zinakuwa, the more environment inakuwa unfavorable for actually most of the investors, or rather the investors within the country kufanya nini, ku set up businesses zinafanya zina processes au minerals zenye ziko within the country. Then you also need to understand that in Kinshasa kumekuwa pia able kuona kumekuwa na protesters wenye walikuwa furious at the perceived apathy of the international powers and targeted walikuwa able to target various embassies. Now hizo embassies zimetaja zile za Rwanda, za Kenya, za France, za Belgium na US. They actually targeting the embassies because wanajua easy countries or rather these member states ziko actually affiliated na ziko actually affiliated na the powers from the west. So it means that for them to actually stop whatever is going on in their country, they actually have to burn down their embassies so that our diplomats wako ndani, our commissioners wako ndani wasiendelee kufanya hizo vitu zao. Most of the people wako ndani, most of the diplomats wako ndani, they are not actually doing their work. Most of them is to spy, because that is the reason as to why embassies na kwa country. Why should you have a country in another country? Because an embassy, I believe, is just a small country within another country. It's just a setup, a representation of a country within another country. And what good do you think an embassy does in another country? Hakuna. It's just spying. Hakuna kitu kingine apart from kuofa hizi mambo na immigration services hizi za kupeana permits za kutravel travel within various parts of the country. What other good do you think embassies was nafanya within another country? Hakuna. So for me, I'll simply say that the United Nations and the United Nations Peace and Security Council and the United Nations Security Council and the African Union Peace and Security Council fail at large, because most of the people are actually expecting these bodies to actually come together and bring up and come up with a solution that will bring up that will be able to bring an end to this war of resources. But it's so unfortunate that time kumekuwa na chaos hivi, most zimejifanya zioni, like most of them wanakuwa wanajifanya wako too blind. They are doing nothing at all to come up with strategies that ensure that at least kuna controlled resources zenye zinakuwa mined within the country, so that Congo as a country pia inaweza fanya nini, inaweza grow economic wise. Si msee anakuja na mine gold na mine diamond, but the same guy mwenye in fact anafanya kazi kwa hizo mines ni msee mwenye amelanguish in poverty, familia yake inaenda teseka the same way amekuwa kiteseka. After hapo the entire generation inaenda ku break as inakuta why na like kuna generational curse, kuna ile tu umaskini inaendelea kukithiri tu kwa hiyo familia yao. So I think that's the reason as to why most of the Congolese citizens are actually happy for having the rebels attack their fellow military personnel. For example, the first video that uliona the military officer. The military officer was spending his final moments pleading with the government to ensure that his family benefits reach the government. Na sasa hiyo ona side this government inafanya nini, inatoa mambo ya majeshi ya subsidy program. Introduce pay system, that is pay as you eat. Unaweza angalia, you can imagine with the level of madness you're operating within. Then let us get back to business. So huyo military officer alikuwa na spend walikuwa anatumia his final moments kuongea. Alikuwa anasema ati salary yake na bonus zake zipewe kwa familia yake, because yeye ametry kufightia country, but nikana he was breathing his last hiyo time alikuwa anatoa hiyo speech. Na I'm pretty sure hiyo time alikuwa na face death, alikuwa anajua yenyewe nimekuwa on the wrong side, nimekuwa nikitetea serikali, kumbe serikali inajua kitu inaendelea. But the funny thing is that the Congolese citizens walikuwa wanashangilia hizi the M23 rebels, the group that is actually formed by members of the Tutsi. And the Tutsi unajua wanakuanga among the tribes in ziko primarily found in Rwanda. Kuna na Hutu and the Tutsi. Those are the two main language groups that are found in Rwanda. So the Tutsi actually are the ones who are actually who have formed the part of the M23 group that is in Eastern Congo. So hao ndo wametumwa na the president of Rwanda, that is Paul Kagame, wafanye nini, waende wafight, wafanye an offensive attack to the Democratic Republic of Congo, to the Congolese army. Then there's also another video that we watched, that was the one that was of a Congolese lady narrating the situation on the ground in Goma, in Goma, that is in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I mean the conflict in the region. And the funny thing is that in as much as wase wengi wanasema kuna kuanga ati hao rebels na wabaya, it turns out that in any time our rebels wana attack military or wana attack government, most of the citizens of the Democratic Republic of Congo actually turn out to cheer them, because hakuna citizen so far ameuawa na rebel attack citizens. Rebels wana attack bodies zozote zenye ziko affiliated na government ya Democratic Republic of Congo. Then pia muone hiyo video ya kwanza, hiyo video nyingine kulikuwa inaonyesha the M23 leaders, that is Corneille Nangaa and Bertrand Bisimwa walikuwa wanafanya clean up exercise in Goma, na walikuwa wanafanya nini, walikuwa na draw the shares from the sections of the city residents, because umeona vile walikuwa nakimbiza hao Romanian mercenaries, walikuwa wanatoa teketeke juu. Romanian mercenaries ukiuliza what is their business in Congo, atakwambia peacekeeping mission, of which ni kata, hakuna peacekeeping mission anaenda huko. Ramaphosa on the other side ametuma troops kutoka South Africa waende huko atuna peacekeeping mission. Which peacekeeping mission? Unapeleka wase peacekeeping mission on your country yako wenyewe, hata hakuna peace. Unaona? Which kind of what kind of activities that unaanza kuitama as peacekeeping? Then pia nimeona the Kenyan defense forces pia wameland pia huko in Congo. I don't know what they're actually looking for. Back then tumeona kenda hit, we had no business in Haiti, but sasa sahi tumejipeleka huko DRC in the name of peacekeeping. So I don't really understand what is happening, what is actually taking this guy, what the driving force behind say kwenda DRC. Then you also come to realize that kumekuwa na a lot of looting, kumekuwa na a lot of vandalizing ya properties, because most of the citizens wanaona hii ni opportunity mzuri sana ya kuomoka, because the government has failed. All the state agencies in the Democratic Republic of Congo, together with their president, that is Felix Tshisekedi, wame fail as a government. They have failed to run the country. They have failed to actually deliver on whatever they had promised back then to the citizens of the Republic of Congo. The only thing I think wamepatia watu ni the dark side of the government, the other side of them. But the good side, there is no any achievement in msio mwenye kwa government ya Congo anaweza amka aseme this is what we have achieved as a government, these are some of the goals that we have set at the government, and we have so far we have been able to achieve this and this. The only thing, the only story, the only message yenye inatoka kwa nje, ukiambia anybody about the Democratic Republic of Congo watakwambia ni civil unrest ama ni war ama ni vitu tu mbaya, nothing much. So I think that's all for today, and I don't know how things are actually going to turn out, because at the moment most of the South African members of the South African military group wameanza kugandisha. Most of them are actually dying, and things are very, very bad in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And my prayer is that may the best side win, because at the end of the day mimi najua itafika point, as long as they are men, they will always be worse. Itafika point wase wataamua kae chini, everybody is going to place their cards on the table, waseme tumefanya, this is where we fucked up, now let us do a redress of this particular situation, because things are actually looking ugly. Things are actually turning out not as many as I had expected in Goma. So let us wait and see, and how things are actually going to unfold, because at the moment pia kumekuwa na sanctions za Paul Kagame na the United Nations Security Council, but Kagame aliamua tu pull arrogance hapo hivyo. So let's wait and see. Yeah, I think that's all for today. Stay tuned for more updates. Adios muchachos.